If January has felt heavy or overstimulating, these are the small changes I made that made the biggest difference for me. Instead of chasing a new year, new me, I chose calm, consistency, and feeling better in my body. Here's all the things I did this January that helped me stay consistent. One habit she can't kick is buying numerous lip products for herself in hopes that I will stop eating my lips. Like, it's not the chapstick, it's my brain. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. I thought we'd kick this favorites off with my quick and easy beauty routine. I, for one, feel so much better when I start the day with a little bit of makeup on my face. I'm not doing the most. I just want to put a little color on my face to help me feel alive, fresh, confident. And also, one of my big goals this year is to really pump out more content. Sharing with you guys is so much easier, as is anything in life, in my opinion, with a little bit of makeup on my face. So not too many products. I did rework the sequence of which I do my makeup, but a lot of these products you're going to have seen before if you've been with me. I love this Merit Bronze Stick. Honestly, everyone who tries this off of my recommendation absolutely loves it. It's so emollient. It's so pretty. It goes on in 0.2 seconds and it leaves such a natural and glowing finish. I'm gonna contour the nose a little bit with it, and I'm gonna contour my lips a bit. I just feel a lot more confident when I have a little bit of lip liner, or in this case, bronzer around my lips. Taking my Rare Beauty, I believe this is the blush brush. I love this. I love the angle. It blends it so beautifully and makes it look so natural, even more natural than it already looks. And I'm just gonna press and stamp this into my skin. Do we love my Oven Mitt jacket? I'm obsessed with it. I rented it from Rent the Runway. I was gonna buy it, but you know, then I did the thing where I asked everyone their opinion and seemingly no one in my family really liked it. But my goodness, it is so warm. It is so cute. Feel like a grandma fantasy, which is always a fantasy that I like to live. Now, this blends out in 2.2, and I pull it towards the hairline so that it doesn't look like I'm wearing a mask. It will look like you're wearing a mask if you have bronzer and then your skin. See, like here, I'm gonna blend that in. I just run it down the sides. For my lip contour, I like to take a pencil brush, just something small, whisk it like in windshield wiper motions. It's gonna look crazy, but it will blend out, especially with this sequence of layering, how I've been doing my makeup. It will blend out really nicely and it will be super, super subtle. And this is just meant to create kind of like a shadow behind my lips. So like if you think about it, someone who like has lip filler or just naturally large lips, there's always like a shadow behind their lips. So this is just like mimicking what my shadow would look like if I had big juicy lips. This winter has really become the season of purple for me. It's just like, if it's purple, I wanna wear it. There's purple in my jacket. I love purple lipstick. I love purple blush. Just if it's purple, give it to me. It just makes me feel like a snow bunny, like a gothic snow bunny princess. I don't know, these are the things that I tell myself on a daily basis. I talk to myself and I refer to what I'm wearing as different characters. It's been really fun for me. I don't know why. It's like giving me main character energy. Like right now, I am a glamorous grandma. When I go to the office, I bundle up and I'm wearing this beautiful blush on my cheeks. I am a gothic snow bunny. I don't know, but I can't be the only one. Oh, I love this. I've had this for a minute. This ebbs and flows in my routine, but it's just, this has been a vibe for me. And so I've been reaching for this heavily, but this is the Tower 28 Beach Please Cream Blush in After Hours. I went to pick up my contacts the other day. I was having a shit day. The receptionist was like, "Your blush is amazing." And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And like, I'm one of those annoying people, which you're gonna see in a second. Like, I layer my makeup. So when I'm wearing a blush, it's not just one blush. We will get there. Women complimenting women, it just like always makes my day. So I'm just patting this into my skin. And I've been using this IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfection Brush. I like to put the bronzer and the blush on before the concealer because I use this to kind of touch up. And I'm using even less than I've been using. So I put a little dab here and a little dab here, and then I just follow my cheekbone here with like 2 or 3 little dots and just a little bit around the nose because I get red, between the brows to separate them, a little bit on the chin, a lift, and a little coverage for the bad boy I got on my cheek. Hourglass brush, I'm just gonna press and stamp this into the skin like I normally would. And I'm gonna kind of just use this to separate. If I brought the blush in too close to the nose, if I brought it down too far, just like use this itty bitty concealer as a magic eraser. Makeup is all about testing, trying. You're never gonna know what works for you. You're never gonna know your preferences unless you actually sit down to do your makeup. So even me, who I am a professional makeup artist, I've been doing my makeup for years and years, and like I do other people's makeup, so on and so forth. Like I realized that I like to let my concealer marinate into my skin. So what I would normally do is go in and set my concealer now, but I have not been doing that. This has made such a world of a difference in my routine and just like how less patchy and less dry my under eyes look. So I'm going to move away, and now we're gonna go to the powder. We're gonna do the same thing with the powder that we did with the cream, and we're gonna do the pigmented powder first and then the translucent setting powder after. So taking my NARS Laguna bronzer, she is still alive and well. Double-ended hourglass brush, take the thicker, the less pointy side, pick up my Laguna bronzer, and I like to start on my forehead. Now my forehead is wide, so I like to just deepen the sides up to make it look a little bit more narrow. And I'm just patting and pressing this all over where I put the Merit bronzer. Now for me, when it comes to habits, shifting my focus on a different aspect of my life that I would like to improve, I find that when you can get things kind of like on autopilot, it takes the thought out of everything. So having a quick makeup routine, figuring out the way you like it and just being consistent with that, if you keep doing it, it's gonna go from 10 minutes to 7 minutes to 5 minutes. And then, you know, you're gonna be able to sit down every day, do your makeup in 5 minutes and not have to think about it. This has been such a theme for me and my channel, narrowing down my makeup routine, figuring out my holy grail products that I love and will buy on repeat. I love makeup and I will always be interested in makeup, but I'm more so interested in feeling my best on a day-to-day basis, not so much finding the next best thing if I already have the next best thing, in my opinion. And I think just having those tried and true products that you don't have to think about really saves brain space. My NARS palette, love her. Can't stop using her. This is the Ethereal Aura Blush palette in New Realm. They have a different one, a lighter one that I kind of really want. Just because again, NARS, their powder blushes are such a holy grail for me. I will always love them. In my opinion, they're the best. This color I've been using a lot. I'm actually shocked I haven't hit pan on any of these, especially this one because I've used it so much. But this is in, I believe this is Teased, purpley color. I'm taking the other, more like pointy end. I am not light-handed and I don't have blush blindness. I am well aware of how much blush I'm wearing. And I just kind of pat and press, and it's okay if it goes out of whack, if you put a little bit too much, if you need to clean up a little bit, because we're gonna clean up with translucent powder. So we still have to powder our under eyes, and we will use that as another eraser, kind of like we did with the concealer. It's a lot, but it's okay. It's really pretty. We look flushed. We look like a snow bunny. For my forehead, I like to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless, another beauty that is almost on her way out. And I'm just gonna load up a little, what is this? Ooh, what is this? Powder puff? Yeah, powder puff. Grab my forehead, moving any of the makeup that may have moved into my fine lines out. And then while I'm still holding my head up, I'm taking this puff and pressing it into my skin. I'm gonna fill in the fine lines with the powder and help your makeup just last a little bit longer than it normally would without migrating into the fine lines on your forehead. Give it a shot, give it a try. I highly recommend it. Going over the areas that I'm gonna powder with my translucent powder, or the areas where I put that concealer, and I'm just cleaning up underneath, pulling this down a little bit because I brought the blush up a little too high. So think of this as your little pencil eraser. What is this? This is the Flawless Skin Trio by Essence. It has a little sifter up top. I use the peach color. There's a peach, a pink, and a lilac, but I just like to use the peach tone. I don't know. Load it on the puff. I need a new puff. Don't look at my puff, it's disgusting. What you wanna do, especially if you're someone where you have crepey under eyes when you apply powder, start here. Don't go directly under the under eye. See how the majority of the powder went here? Sometimes if you go into your under eye with that much powder, it will shock your under eye and kind of make your skin look dry even when it's not. I like to take whatever is left over and put it on my nose because I don't like a shiny nose. Now, I really like this powder. It's very finely milled. It is super affordable. It does a nice job of kind of like neutralizing my darkness a little bit. And again, we can clean up around the blush and the bronzer with this. I'm using my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray because this is all that I ever really use. Before I go in with anything else, I just want to say that I tried this lip liner and I was so excited about it. I bought it during the Sephora sale, and so I've been using it ever since, but I have finally decided that I really dislike this lip liner, Huda Beauty Lip Contour Stain. Everyone and their mother likes this. I can't overdraw my lips. Are we drawing this on our skin? It just, I don't know, I'm not. It doesn't feel natural to me. I feel like every time I use this, it ruins my makeup. It makes my lips look smaller than they actually are. I like a softer lip line. If you like this, let me know. Maybe it's just like the color that I'm using, warm brown, which leans a little purple, but I don't like it, and I wanted to share with you guys because this is something that I dedicated a lot of time to in January, and it doesn't make my makeup routine quicker. If anything, it makes my makeup routine longer because I have to spend time finessing this. Another thing I wanted to mention is this makeup bag that my aunt bought me for Christmas. I have so many makeup bags, but I really wanted one that was travel friendly. I absolutely love the size of this. I love how it's just like a gaping hole. I will link this down below. This is from Stephanie Johnson. It's from Nordstrom. If you're trying to really narrow down your routine, spend less time doing your makeup. I have a whole ass vanity here, and yes, I dip into my vanity, but I keep my everyday staples, like makeup that I reach for every single day, in this bag, and I leave this on top of my vanity. I don't have to go in and out. I'm just trying to simplify my life. I think another thing to really help you hone in on your routines of what you want to do and to just make your life easier is to really think about your living space and how you can optimize it for your routines. I used to keep my sunscreen and all my skincare in the bathroom underneath the sink, but I realized like how I flow throughout my home and throughout my morning. I prefer to do my skincare at my vanity. So I took all of my skincare, my morning skincare, my nighttime skincare is still in the bathroom because that makes more sense. I like to shower at night. I then do my skincare at night in the bathroom, but my morning routine, I find so much peace and harmony doing it at my vanity. So I have moved all of my skincare, my morning skincare, to my vanity. So just put things not necessarily where they make sense, but where you know they're going to be readily accessible to you throughout your morning or evening routines. Okay, for my brows, I'm not really getting fancy with it. I draw them on super quickly using the Joa Precision Brow Pencil. And honestly, some mornings, I don't even fill them in. All I really need is a little bit of blush, a little bit of bronzer, and just like the base of my face. L'Oreal Paris Lay Shadow Stick. I bought this several months ago. It's really pretty. I like how it kind of makes my eyes pop. Brown Abyss. I don't know. I'm a brown-eyed girl who likes a basic brown. I just kind of line my lid like in literally 2 seconds. Did you see how quick that was? I'm just gonna take a fluffy flat brush and kind of just like wiggle that into the lash line. It really depends on the vibe. Sometimes I like it to look like an eyeliner, like it kind of does in the corner. You could even do it with your finger. There's a ton of different ways to do this, but I'll show you if you want it to look a little smokier, like undone look. You can use your finger. Very pretty. Bronzer on a fluffy brush, crease of my eye, just to make it look a little bit more cohesive and kind of like I don't just have that sitting on my eye. This kind of just blends it all in. I love the look of an undone eye. I don't think you need to spend too much time curling my lashes. And of course, using my one and only Lancome Lash Idol, my favorite mascara. My favorite part about my makeup routine any given day is my lips. I've been using this lip liner. This is a retractable lip liner from Thrive Cosmetics in the shade Gislin. And I just like this because it's really creamy. And again, it's like a mauvey purpley color. And I've just been lining the very top and very bottom of my lip. And I'm over exaggerating my lips a little bit. And I'm not bringing my lip liner into the inner corners because this just gives a more youthful plump effect. That's what that looks like, a little bit crazy. And then I can't get over this lipstick, and I can't even begin to describe to you how amazing I feel whenever I wear this. But this is the Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balm by NARS in the shade Touch Me. And it is a very soft matte lip balm. Like it has a thin consistency, but it's not like a crunchy matte. I love this lipstick. Oh my God. I would buy this in every single color if I could. This makeup routine helps me feel really grounded. It doesn't make me feel rushed throughout my day because I am just picking and choosing the products that really work for me, putting them aside on top of my vanity for easy accessibility, and I just feel like a better version of myself. So I hope that this inspires you to really hone in on your makeup routine, find the products that work for you and to just stick with them. We don't need to have 50,000 different things. We don't need to be testing, trying all of the new all of the time. It's fun, but I just think for like a steady, easy morning, sticking with what it is you know, and then maybe when you have time playing with other things, has just been making a world of a difference in terms of my mornings feeling easier, which has consequently really eased my nervous system. I've been wearing these a lot lately. These are from Fendi. I would never recommend buying them. You know, they're a couple $100s for costume jewelry, but I bought these several years ago when Mike and I were in Italy, and they're fun. And so something that makes me feel good is just using the things that I buy, whether they were a smart purchase or not. I just wanted to talk about my habits in January, maybe to help inspire you. I did not do a whole revamp like I said in the beginning of this video. I don't identify or feel drawn to the new year, new me. I want to just be a better version of me. So I take the habits I do on a daily basis and I kind of like habit stack them with little things that I like to bring into my life and just kind of want to work into my daily routine this year. Again, nothing in life should feel like an overhaul. I find that nothing will be sustainable if you put so much pressure on yourself to do it, and it's just like you wake up in the morning and you do like a totally different routine. For my morning routine, I've decided this year that I really need to start my hydration earlier in the day. I'm really sick of it getting to be 4, 5, 6 o'clock and me saying to myself, I only had 1 glass of water. Before I even pour my coffee, I make sure I drink 16 ounces of water, and I pour a little lemon into it to help with digestion, but also to just make me drink it quicker, because again, I am a zombie to the coffee machine. The first thing I want in the morning is coffee. But I shifted my mindset this year, and instead of playing into that narrative of, oh, when I wake up, I need coffee, I've shifted it to, when I wake up, I will have a glass of water to help regulate my nervous system. So it's kind of just like I fed into that narrative in my brain for so long that I convinced myself that the first thing that I need to have in the morning is coffee, when in reality, my nervous system and my gut health really needs water. I would love to wake up and eat something too, but again, I'm not overhauling my life. I'm starting with the water, and we will see how it goes from there. I then move on to my first cup of coffee, and I'm still having my collagen peptides. It's good for your hair, skin, nails, and joints. But for me, I am someone where I'm continuing to focus in on a high protein diet. So it is a wonderful way of supporting all of those things I just mentioned, but also getting close to 20 grams of protein first thing in the morning. My non-negotiable of the morning, which is sitting down and reading a book and hanging out with my cat. My cat is a little smush in the morning. You know, most of the time he's a cat and he wants to know me or doesn't want to know me, but in the morning he's so lovey. It's not only something that helps me start my morning off right, feeling good and just lovey and grateful for my little fur baby, but it's also something that he looks forward to. So it is a non-negotiable. I bring my coffee into the living room, I sit down, and I will read at least a chapter of whatever book I'm reading. I was never really a reader. This is definitely a hobby that I focused on in 2025 because I just really wanted to take myself out of my head. You know, sometimes it's really good to read something and get invested into someone else's story. It removes you from the to-do list in your head or the worries or anxieties in your head, and it has just been something that has been so wonderful for my nervous system. I just finished the book Tea and Alchemy. I love like a light fantasy. I love vampires, and this one was so good. It was about a tea leaf reader and a vampire. It was like a folklore story come back to life, and it was such a good book. I was so invested into it. It was a book that I looked forward to reading every morning. Now I've moved on to Grim Stories, I believe. I will put both books down below in case you're interested in reading the one that I read this month, which again, Tea and Alchemy was so good, or the one that I have moved on to and just started reading now. Once I've read my chapter and I'm ready to get up, I then typically have my second cup of coffee. Something that I did in 2025 was I moved to iced black coffee as my second cup of coffee, just because there's so much crap in creamers. I do still measure how much creamer and how much milk I'm putting into my coffee, just because you could easily have like a 240 calorie cup of coffee without even knowing. The calories really add up if you don't know exactly how much you're putting in. So I always recommend, if you're just someone where you're trying to get fit, I would definitely get a scale, like a food scale. You don't need to measure every little thing that you're eating, but it is so eye-opening when you really see how little a serving of anything is. My second cup of coffee is black. Now, for the longest time, I had been putting Splenda in my coffee, but I'm trying to get away from Splenda. I'm trying to get away from the fake sweetener. I actually have my coffee here and it's just black, no nothing in it. So I will either convince myself that this tastes delicious, or I will add my protein shake into my black coffee to kind of take away the bitterness. So just little things that I'm doing here and there. Are protein shakes the best for you? No, but I'm drinking a protein shake every day. So I figured instead of the Splenda, I could take away the bitterness with the protein. It's just like making little tweaks. The tweaks don't need to be perfect, but they just need to get you going in the right direction. I take my iced coffee or my protein coffee, whichever one I feel like having that day, and I come up here and I sit down at my desk and I write down everything that I did that morning. So I'm not just writing down a to-do list in my planner. I'm writing down what time I woke up, what I did when I woke up. So I'll write down like 5 a.m. Brogan, read, gua sha if I come up here and decide to do a face gua sha, which I've been doing 3 times a week. Oftentimes I would find myself at the end of the day going back to my planner, checking off maybe like 4 of the 12 things I wrote down that I wanted to do that day, and then just feeling so unproductive and crap about myself because I wasn't taking into consideration all of the other really productive things that I did that day, like spending time with my cat, like reading a chapter of my book, taking a bath and really just like relaxing and getting myself zen, doing my red light face mask, lasering my armpits. Like there are so many things that I do throughout my day that are productive. So I decided that in my planner, I write down each and every little thing that I do. So even if I have like 5 to-do things that I need to do that day and I only cross off 2, I can look throughout my day and see like, yeah, I only knocked off 2 of the 5, but I also did all these amazing things. And if I had done all 5 of these things, I wouldn't have had time for all of these things. So it's just like my type A friends out there, this is just like a mindset hack that has really made such a difference in my mental health and has made me really feel productive on days that I otherwise maybe wouldn't have felt so productive. I'm also journaling. I, again, really want to create more content this year, and I find that sitting down journaling and just doing brain dumps of all of my ideas and even just talking about how I'm feeling, I can look at any journal entry that I write down and come up with a video idea to share with you guys. It's done wonders for me. It's really stopped me from scrolling as much on my phone. Try and find inspiration from other people, whereas now that I'm journaling, I find inspiration from the stagnant thoughts within, and I just think it is a wonderful multitasking habit. When I started journaling, I said, oh, I need to write 1 full page. Some days I can't think of a full page to write, and then I would get frustrated halfway into the page being like, oh, I have nothing else that I want to write. Just give yourself the grace. If you're taking time to do something in your day, don't put parameters or rules around it. Just do it. And I think it takes the mental stress and the pressure off of you. And I think it's a great way to create habits that you're going to keep and sustain for a lifetime. My second non-negotiable is going for a walk. I walk every single day, whether it be on the treadmill or outside. It is frigid AF right now, so I've been walking on the treadmill and taking that 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour, however long I feel like walking. And I've been working on my laptop, coming up with ideas for content or editing videos. It's really changed a lot for me. I used to walk on the treadmill and watch other YouTube videos, and I can't help but compare myself to others. So this has really made me focus on what it is I'm doing and really look at what I'm doing and think about how I can do it better. I'm someone where when I move my body, I come up with my best ideas. So it's been really good. And I'm trying to just make my life work for me and optimize my life. So I know when I go for a walk, I somehow, for whatever reason, have all of these ideas flowing. So instead of masking them by watching YouTube videos or Housewives, I'm just opening up Google Drive and just brain dumping all the things that I'm thinking. And it's really good. And if your brain works like that too, I highly recommend you do things like that. Another non-negotiable, which is always forever a non-negotiable for me, is working out. I do Sydney Cummings. I've been doing her workouts for over 10 years now. I do every single monthly program that she comes out with, and it's just a good time to release any tension, to really focus on me and just move my body. And I find that moving my body makes me the most confident. Like, I could sit here and paint my face every day, get dressed up every day, it doesn't matter. But if I don't work out, I won't feel nearly as good throughout my day. I have been doing my red light face mask for a year now. Mike bought it for me last year. I love it. I've noticed such a big difference in my skin, and it does take a long time to see results, but if you are consistent and you do it on a regular basis, you will see the results. My face is tighter, brighter, the pigmentation has definitely lessened, and I'm less puffy. So for Christmas, I asked for the current body. Put it around your neck like this. You loop it and attach it, and then it sits on your chest. You need to do this on clean skin. So I will come home from work, I will do a quick body wash my face, and then I will do my face mask, which you guys have seen so many times. I use the Therabody face mask that Mike bought me, and then I will also do this. They both run for 10 minutes, and it's just adding this to my already pre-existing habit. I've noticed over the years that my neck is getting a little crepey. I sit at a computer all day. I'm always like on my phone like this, and so it's gonna happen. And I am pro-aging because the alternative is not aging, and I would like to be on this earth for as long as possible with the people I love, doing the things I love. So this just made so much sense to me. Once I'm done with that, I then do my skincare and all that kind of thing, and that really hasn't changed. Those are all of the habits that I've been doing for a while now, and the little habits that I'm stacking on top of them. If you have not read Atomic Habits, it's a wonderful book by James Clear. I read it almost every year at the beginning of the year, but I didn't read it this year because I'm really into my good fiction books. It basically teaches you to pick something that you do every day. So like, I imagine at some point in your morning routine, you brush your teeth. Can you do something else while you're brushing your teeth? Like, make that a cue. After you brush your teeth, you put your gym clothes on to go work out. You know, like, just pick a couple things that you want to do and work them into your weekly routine and see where you go from there. You're going to get to a point again where everything is on autopilot and you don't need to think about it, and it feels lighter. And then at that point, when things feel lighter, you can incorporate other layers of new routines and new habits that you want to do. Last year in March, I really wanted to get my fitness in check. I got serious about sticking to a program, sticking to a workout split. I then really honed in on what it is I was eating, and I realized that a lot of my diet consisted of fat. So I cut down on the fat, and I have to tell you, I stopped eating as much cheese, I stopped eating as much dairy, and my God, I feel like a whole new woman. And then the end of the year, I really focused on my nervous system. One thing at a time, girlfriend, and I hope that you can take that away from this video. Focus on something that is important to you, and then once you nail that down, you can focus on something else. It doesn't need to be a total overhaul, a total revamp of your life. Just one day at a time, one thing at a time. And as long as you're doing something daily that gets you in the right direction, I think you're good, you're golden. Just to round this out, because I know I oftentimes talk about fashion and just like shoes and handbags and all the things. Again, kind of like with my makeup routine, putting it on autopilot. So I've been wearing these BP long sleeve shirts. It's just a long sleeve rib shirt. I have it in gray, I have it in black, and I have it in white. And I just find like this is the perfect layering piece. And I love a good jacket. During the week, I wear my everyday wide leg pants from Banana Republic. You guys have seen them so much, but that is like a staple in my work wardrobe. And then on the weekends, I wear the same type of top, pair it with jeans. It's kind of just creating a capsule wardrobe and making it interchangeable. So I will link a couple fashion videos down below if you're interested. January doesn't define the year. You still have today, you still have tomorrow. You can do whatever it is you put your mind to. Again, just make it simple. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Give yourself grace. And I really hope that, if anything, you took that from this video. If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to give it a big thumbs up down below. Leave me some love in the comments. Let me know, what are some habits that you are incorporating into your routine this year? What are some habits that maybe you want to incorporate, and where would they fit in your morning, midday, or nighttime routines? Like, I want to do this, but where can I do it, and where does it make sense, and where does it feel easy? Because wherever it feels easy is where it belongs. But I love you guys so, so much. Thank you so, so much for hanging out with me. Happy New Year, happy day, and I really, really hope to see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Mwah.